Okay, so now we're going to check out the interior features.
Yep. Probably the first thing that was noticeably changed is the push-button start. That's a first for the truck lineup in the Silverado family or Chevrolet family in general. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it, but over here on the left-hand side, where people are probably by now used to their four-wheel drive transfer case selector and headlight control, your headlight control will stay the same. This knob right here is actually for a selective drive mode, which is new for the Silverado, similar to the SS's and Camaras that they've had going for 5-6 years now. This truck is really equipped with 3 different drive modes. You've got kind of your sport mode, which you'll notice the change in the information center. There's a green race flag down there now. Let me lower the steering wheel a little bit. And then if you tap it again, you're just in your everyday drive mode, and then your tow haul mode has actually moved from the end of your shift selector to this knob. And you'll see a yellow trailer symbol pop up on the information center. Four-wheel drive indicator, it's going to tell you right now that you're in two-wheel drive. It still comes with the same options. You got your auto, which is good for weather like this or a gravel hill. Something that you don't know if you're going to spin, but you want to make sure you don't. Of course, you got your 4 high. What we're driving in right now is two-wheel drive, and then 4 low. Windshield wiper controls will stay the same. Heated steering wheel the same. Steering wheel is pretty much identical almost to what people are probably by now used to. Moving over here.
Quick, I'm just going to interject quickly. We are in an LT crew cab, and it's got cloth seats. I thought it was pretty interesting that it does have a heated steering wheel and heated seats. So
Yeah.
that's, I mean, I feel like you're getting kind of more bells and whistles, but you don't necessarily have to have the leather and a bunch of other things. So
Yeah, I've noticed that that as well. It's like every year or every body style change, what was once an upgrade is now almost standard on some vehicles, which is smart. And moving over here, somewhat position-wise, everything has kind of stayed the same. You'll notice it's got the new Infotainment 3 system in it. Trailer lights is actually a pretty neat feature to let you test your trailer lights if you had one hooked up. That kind of ties into the different towing packages available in this. You can actually even get the advanced trailering package, which you can monitor with an app. It'll also come with separate tire pressure monitor sensors you can install on your trailer and watch everything about your trailer from right here. CarPlay, Android Auto, that's been standard on Chevys for now for quite a few years. It's stayed the same, just different appearance. Don't have a phone connected right now, so it's not really going to cooperate. As far as what you're able to change, it's basically stayed the same. They might have worded it a little bit differently or positioned it a little bit differently, but it's still extremely high tech, and you can basically live in your truck anymore. Backup camera. Last year on the Colorado, they introduced this feature, which they brought it over to the Silverado. If you're lining up your trailer tongue, you can put it right in line with the receiver on the back of your truck.
that's cool.
And then of course you can just have your grid lines which still move with your steering wheel. For anybody that has read the old blog posts and motor trend posts about these trucks coming equipped with the what has become to be hated stop-start technology, they got smart on the Silverado and allow you to actually turn that off. You'll notice it says auto stop is now off. So if you're not too worried about fuel consumption, you can turn that off anytime you get in the vehicle. That'll also be out on the 19 Cruises as well.
Yay. I know a lot of people will be happy to hear that.
Of course, you've still got your dual zone climate control, fan control. Down here, this truck with the Z71 package is equipped with the downhill descent control, which kind of confuses people. It still confuses me every once in a while, but the best way I understand it is that's like your ultra low speed cruise control. If you're not wanting to ride your brakes coming down a hill, you set that at a very low speed and let the motor do the work for you. Heated seats, still the same settings. You got your full seat or just the back portion, your 3 heat settings.
Speaking of the air, you also have vents in the back seat now, right? That's
That
a
is
new.
correct.
That's a new feature.
There are rear air ducts back there.
There we go.
I know a lot of people are excited about that.
One thing I did notice, I guess structural, is now if you put your center bench seat up, it actually fully locks in place. You still got your lockable storage underneath that locks with your ignition key. Same with your glove box.
Did you see that?
Let's go ahead and look at it again. Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I think a lot of people get good use out of that.
Put like a laptop in there from
It's
the
a
outside,
concealed carry
iPad.
compartment.
or that.
That's what I always tell everybody.
There's also some space in here.
Yeah, they've kept the same storage on top.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
And you've got your USB and micro USB ports now. Instead of having to get an adapter, you've got the option for either one. Your 12-volt cigarette lighter there.
All right, Jenny, go ahead and show us that glove box there.
Yeah, I was curious
Dual
about
glove
that.
box looks like.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so you got, pins or that's what I would put all my pins.
Napkins and hot sauce packets.
Oh, there you go.
That's what
Taco
it's got.
Bell,
Hot sauce in
medium,
there.
medium, mild, hot,
Your
fire.
Condiment compartment.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's nice.
And now, Brad, if I'm not mistaken, this vehicle doesn't have it, but like the High Country and LTZ will have wireless charging here for phones.
Correct.
Nice.
And that works for basically every Android phone, from what I understand. Any iPhone from I think 10 and on. You don't have to have a special case for it, as long as your case is thin enough to where it can actually reach and send the battery a signal to start charging. Up here, this is a change, I guess, not only position wise but looks wise. If your truck comes equipped with a integrated trailer brake, this is actually where the control will be for it.
And Wynn and I were talking about that earlier. A lot of people will like that because it's on the proper side now, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I think it makes a lot more sense where it's positioned, because anybody that mounts one after the fact typically mount it right down here somewhere.
Nice.
Cool.
And then, of course, most people by now have probably noticed that the back seat is significantly roomier than
I sure
previous
noticed.
body style.
And up here, even the space in Wynn's truck, I feel like it's even lower. So this is nice.
I think they added a little over an inch worth of headspace for front and rear passengers. And then, even though they dropped 450 pounds off of this truck, they were able to make a lot more room in the back seat for people that didn't think a crew cab was even big enough leg room wise.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of space.
And these upfitter switches here would be for, of course, the higher up you go trim level would be adjustable pedals. I'm pretty sure one of these will end up being a diesel exhaust brake for the diesel motored half ton whenever it comes out. The selector switch is now a rolling wheel similar to a computer mouse.
Oh, that's cool.
You can still see the same information. If you've got it in four-wheel drive and you want to know if you're high-centered, what degree your steering wheel is
That's really
tilted,
cool.
it'll tell you everything about that, as far as making sure you don't dig yourself deeper into a ditch. Engine hours, your average fuel economy, which this will definitely be off. Hasn't been driven quite enough yet. Brake pad life, that's new. That wasn't available to be seen by the driver last go around. Air filter life, that's a new option. Of course, your tire pressure monitoring system. Oil life, fuel range. It's all still right there, just kind of presented a little bit different. Horsepower wise, it's actually kind of stayed the same, around the 360, 365-ish. Your towing capabilities have stayed the same. They have raised the gear ratio number a little bit since they're adding 2 speeds to the transmission. So now, if you get a max trailer package, for instance, it's going to be equipped with 342s rather than 373s, but you're still able to tow. The most a half-ton Silverado will be able to tow is 12,100 pounds. So that's actually pretty good for being a half-ton chassis. Of course, that's with a 6.2 and the max trailer package. So performance-wise, I think the only thing that'll be noticeably different is maybe an increase in fuel economy because of stop-start and the any fuel management system they've got in place.
And how much lighter is it than the older model?
Around 450 pounds, I believe.
I have a
Yeah.
quick question also about the engines. Do you have to get a high level trim package in order to get a 6.2 liter?
LTZ and above.
Okay.
So, I guess the best step would be for people to come in and check it out. So, we've got this LT crew cab here on the lot now, and we've got more coming. I'm not quite sure what the trim levels are that are coming, but do you know?
have, I believe, 2 high countries.
High Country's coming, okay?
And Brad, what do you think about the Trail Boss that's coming out? Like that package yourself?
I do actually.
'Cause you're a hunter, right? And like to go off road. And...
I do, not as much as I used to, but I've definitely, looking back, seen times where a truck equipped like that would have came in handy. Not only that, but what's nice is this is not a Trail Boss, but you could buy whatever the lift kit is, which is a Rancho lift kit that Chevy's putting on the Trail Boss and make this a Trail Boss. 100% GM warranted, and basically it's all bolt on, which is another first for GM since I've been working for them. I've never known them to put out a factory lift kit that you could put on yourself. And speaking of the 450 pound weight loss that they did to the Silverado, I know a lot of people probably started fearing once they heard the word aluminum, given that other company that starts with an F and sounds like Ford's fiasco with it. All right, but now that we've mentioned the word aluminum, for anything anybody's read on the internet, it is not anywhere structural that would cause anybody to freak out. It's not in the bed, it's not in the bed walls. They used aluminum only on the tailgate, the doors, the outside of the doors, and your hood. So that's where the weight loss came from, where the aluminum came into play. It's nothing structural or anything that's going to take a beating or any sort of abuse. They kind of placed it pretty strategically to get the use out of it, but not sacrifice the quality or durability of the truck. So I did think that was a very smart move. I was pretty pleased with that. Because like many, I kind of feared when I heard the word aluminum going into the new Silverado. But they played it smart and put it where it needed to be.
So Brad, what's your favorite part, if you could just pick one thing about the new Silverado you like the most? Ginny, you also.
The diesel motor they're bringing out for it. I think that was long overdue. And the lift kit. I like how you can do that without voiding any warranties.
Oh man, that's tough. I mean, as y'all know, I don't really know too much, but I do like the aesthetics of it, and I think I like the tailgate, the Chevrolet, how they're bringing back. I like old school. I like mixing the old with the new, so I think that's
Yeah, I like that.
probably my favorite. Okay, so I guess the next step would be for you guys to come in and check it out. We invite everybody to come in, even if you're not in the market for a new vehicle, for a new truck. We want you to come in, compare it to what you're driving now, give us feedback, see what you think. Come drive it, come check it out. It'll be
You can
fun.
read about them all day, but you never really know until you actually get to sit behind the wheel of one.
Yeah, so we want to be your local dealer that you come to and see the new 2019 Silverado.